So, good evening, everyone. I'm Rutuja. I hope you all are doing well and enjoying your offline college life so far. Now, here we are with our induction program to get you more apprised about the Vulcan Robotics. So, now have you ever seen a drone up in the sky or else robots performing some simple or maybe complex or dangerous tasks and wondered how they operate, what kind of mechanism are used and wanted to know more about it? Sure, you've had this thought once. So here we are with our club, the Vulcan Robotics, where you'll get to nurture your knowledge about robotics and help you gain interdisciplinary knowledge too. Next slide. Now let's just know more about the brief history of this club. It's been 9 years or so since students of our college are participating in Asia Pacific BO Robocon competitions, but not a proper club was ever formed. It was until 2020 that our seniors decided to finally form a club, that is the Vulcan Robotics. It was which will create a platform for students where they can constructively nurture their skills and participate in various competition that is not only just in ABU but other competitions like IRC, IIDC, etc. about which you'll get to know further in detail. So last year, SY student recruitment was done. The first and foremost goal was to help them develop their skills. For that, MATLAB and Simulink courses were given to students of all branches. And for all the interested students, irrespective of their branch, tasks in SolidWorks, image processing, deep learning, physical modeling related to the same were provided. These courses were prerequisite for that all the teammates were at the same, so that all the teammates were all at the same level, skill level, and ready for competing in various competitions as well as for upcoming Robocon 2022. Then we all constructively started working on it, about which you'll get to know in further slides. Next slide, please. Now, this was all about the brief history of our club. Now, let's talk about our goals. Firstly, to provide you a common platform to help you interact and work with students from all the respective branches. Then, to increase student participation in the field of robotics, that is, you will get to cultivate your interest and knowledge in the same through creation, design, assembly, and operation of robots. Next is to utilize the knowledge gained to solve some real life industrial problems and social issues, like what mechanisms are used in robots to increase the productivity and efficiency in manufacturing industries. And so this will help you improve one's critical thinking ability. Now, over to you, Sanket.
Thank you, Rutuja. Now let's talk about ABU Robocon. So ABU Robocon is an international robotics event organized by Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union. Teams from over 25 countries uh, from Asia participate in these events. The competition is similar to the Olympics, where every year there is a new host nation, which gives us new theme, and we have to build robots based on that theme. So this year the theme was Lagori, hosted by our own country, India, which will be explained further in this presentation. There are total three stages in this event every year. The first is the virtual round, in which we submit the idea with required reports. The second round, we make a prototype of the model and shoot the video with working mechanism. And the third and the last round is organized at IIT Delhi, where the shortlisted teams compete with each other in the final event. Now, the next presentation will be explained by Pranav.
Thank you, Sanket. Now we will see the recent participation by Vulcan Robotics. In Robocon competitions, we are supposed to build two robots. So each team has two robots and they compete with each other. And each of the robot has its specific functions defined. So the theme for Robocon 2020 was rugby. And the image on the left you see is the pass robot, and that on the right is a try robot. So the function of pass robot is to pass the ball to the try robot after picking it from the ball rack, and then uh, passed to the try robot, and then try robot tries to throw the same ball into the specified target. So the different mechanisms involved here were picking, passing, and throwing. And I would like to tell that in our reports, just stating that so and so works is not sufficient. How we carried out our validation is also to be shown. And then now I will show you, next slide please. So now I will tell you in short the mechanisms. The robot on the left is the pass robot, and that on the right is a try robot. So once the green mechanism that you see on the left side robot is the picking mechanism. The ball is then passed towards the discs, and the discs rotate, and then due to the rotation anti-clockwise and clockwise opposite sense rotation, the ball is thrown into the tri robot. The tri robot is kind of a funnel shaped, so that the ball lands into the tri robot, and then we cannot see the backside, but there is a kicking mechanism on the rear side of the robot, which then kicks the ball towards the target. So this was about Robocon 2020, and this is the simulation that was carried out to validate the results, as I said before. So this was the so for example, the location of the pass robot is there, and it will pass the ball towards the try robot. Next slide. So this now coming to the Robocon 2021 competition, the theme was aero picking and throwing. So the image on the left is the defense robot, and on the right is the throwing robot. And work, let's call it DR and TR. So work of TR is to pick arrows from the rack, load them, and throw them into the pots. So pots are the targets into which the arrows must be thrown. And the work of DR is to push the pot tables and try to deflect the arrow thrown by the opponent TR. The next slide, please. So left one is the DR, right one is the TR. So for DR, there are specifically design structures of the T-shaped such that the tables must be pushed, and the gripper that you see, robotic arm that you see on the left, is used to deflect the arrows. And coming towards the TR, so these are the 5 arrows that were to be thrown, and these were previously picked by the grippers that you see on the top side of the robot, and these then will be passed loaded into the magazine, and the magazine, the red plunger that you see, is the shooting mechanism. So one by one the arrows will be shot. So this was the concept that we had developed for Robocon 2021 competitions. So what we previous slide. So what we get to know is the each and every year the themes are different, and we get the teams are challenged every year to develop new mechanisms and make them working. So this is the challenge that we face every year, and we overcome. So next presentation will be continued by Rushikesh.
Thank you, Pranav. So the next challenge we participated was IRDC, where IRDC stands for International Rover Design Challenge. This is conducted by MSSP. Here we are supposed to design and conceptualize a rover which can perform given tasks such as drilling, picking up the soil, testing, and sending the reports back on the Earth surface. I personally was part of subsystem where I was supposed to design a 6 degree of freedom arm that you can see in the right side of the screen. Going through different mechanisms, ideas, and concepts, we were able to design this arm as you can see. This was the complete idea and rendered image of our rover, and you can see the video in here. As you can see in the video, the rover spotted the obstacle and then changed its direction of movement. Over to you, Atharva.
Thank you, Rishikesh. Now let's discuss about AB Robocon 2022 theme. The Sanket has already explained what the Robocon is about the competition. It is the Asia Pacific Robot Contest. So AB Robocon has different themes every year. Pranav has explained the themes for year 2020 and 21. Now let's see the AB Robocon 2022 theme. Before going to that, some of you are well familiar with the game of Lagori that has been played from long times in our country. So our Robocon theme is similar to the Lagori game. Now let's get through this video to get an overview of this theme for last year.
One of the oldest civilizations in the world, India is a mosaic of multicultural experiences. With a rich heritage, blends seamlessly and fastens people closer. The Robocon game field consists of red area, blue area, and Lagori area. Lagori is placed at the center of the game field. Red team can move in red area and blue team can move in blue area. Each team area has R1 and R2 start zone with a penalty zone where a part of robot must not stay for more than 10 seconds. There are 2 ball areas in the game field. each with 3 hitter balls are placed on the ball racks before the round starts. Lagori is a tower with 5 cylindrical discs to be placed on top of one another on a square base. Each team will play a game with 2 robots, namely R1 and R2. The robots can be manual or automatic. The referee will give seeker role to the red team in first round and blue team in second round. Seeker R2 will carry a ball on head during the game. Now let us understand the Lagori game played by the robots. When the setting time is over, the game will start with the start of round 1 for 90 seconds. When the round starts, Seeker R1 throws Seeker balls to break the Lagori. However, Seeker R1 can throw the balls only when all of its contact surface with the field is in the R1SZ. Seeker will score points according to the number of the broken Lagori discs. Seeker gets 5 points for each Lagori disc broken. The team can get up to 25 points. Seeker can throw Seeker balls up to 3 times during the break shot time of 30 seconds. When all 5 Lagori discs are broken or the break shot time is finished, after the referee's signal, the Seeker R2 can start piling up the Lagori discs in the remaining time in the round. Seeker gets 10 points for each Lagori disc piled up. The team can get up to 50 points. When all Lagori discs have been broken or the break shot time is finished, after the referee's signal, hitter R1 and R2 can start moving to pick up the hitter balls. Hitter R1 can throw the hitter balls at the ball on head of Seeker R2 to displace it. Hitter R2 can pick up hitter balls from the ball zone and pass them to hitter R1. However, hitter R1 can throw the balls only when all of its contact surface with the field are in the R1SZ. A round ends when one of the following conditions is met. 1. When Seeker finishes Lagori pile. 2. The ball on head of Seeker R2 is displaced by the hitter ball. And 3. 90 seconds have passed from the start of the round. When the first round is over, the game will be suspended and 1 minute setting time will start immediately. Blue team, which will be the next Seeker, can load up to 3 Seeker balls to R1. After that, with the referee's signal, the game will restart with the start of the round 2 for next 90 seconds. When the second round is finished, the game is finished. At the end of the game, the winner will be decided in the following order. A. The team with the highest total score. B. If there is a tie, the winner will be decided in the following order. 1. The team that displaced the opponent's ball on head. 2. The team with a shorter time from the start of the round until the completion of the Lagori pile, including perfect Lagori. 3. Team with the highest score of Lagori pile. 4. To be decided by the judges. We look forward to seeing the performance of robots built by young engineers in New Delhi, India.
So you can see that
One of the oldest civilizations in the
So you previous slide, please. So you have seen in this video, the whole theme is based on the Lagori game. The teams are mainly divided into 2 sections. One is the seeker and other one is the hitter. There are 2 rounds in the game for 90 seconds. The first round, if one team get the role of seeker, then in the second round, it will be the hitter. Let us take an example. 2 teams are there, team A and team B. The team A got the role of seeker, then team B will be hitter. There are each 2 robots for team A and team B, that are seeker R1, seeker R2 for team A, and hitter R1 and hitter R2 for team B. The roles of these robots are, for seeker R1, there is a throwing mechanism is used for it, means the role of it is throwing the balls. This role of seeker R2 is that he has to pile up the disc. The role of hitter R1 is that it has to throw the balls towards the seeker R2, and the role of hitter R2 is that he has to pass the ball from the rack to the hitter R1. So similarly, the same game is performed in the next 90 seconds by changing their roles. That is, A will be the hitter and the B team will be the seeker. So all the teams will get points according to their performance and the winners will be decided. Next slide. So you can see the recent performance of our Vulcan Robotics. So this year we have designed these 2 robots. That is, the left side image you can see it is of R1 robot, and the right image you can see it is of R2 robots. So we got the All India rank 12 for this design and got 90 out of 100 in the phase 1 of the competition. So next slide. So you can see these are the 2 robots. There are different mechanisms we are used for designing that one. So right side image you can see it is the R1 robot. The basic throwing mechanism of ball is used in that robot, and the left side image of is of the R2 robot. So you can see the three mechanism in that. So you can see the fun part which consists of gripper, which is used for the picking up the disc. So we have used there the mechanism of kitchen trolley such that it can take, but it can hold the different sizes of the disc. And for the upward and downward motion of that gripper, we have used the rack and pinion mechanism. And you can see at the back of the robot R2, there is one gripper which is used for ball picking. We have designed it such that it can pick up the all the balls from a rack at the same time. So we have designed that robot from scratch. So this is about the design and AB Robocon theme 2020-22. So over to Akshata.
Thank you, Atharva. So till now we have introduced through ABU, Robocon 22 and IRDC 21. Now let's move to our future plans. So as you can see here, we have mentioned the most popular events which are taking place at national and international level every year to enhance technical knowledge among the engineering student, and which will increase our logical knowledge and problem solving skill, plus problem solving skill and practical knowledge and design skill, etc. So according to me, our first preference should be to learn all the skills. Now let's move to our future plans. So our first goal from now onwards will be ABU Robocon 2023. We have already discussed about Robocon 2022. So similarly, we are going to be ready for Robocon 2023. So this is again national plus international level competition. Now let's move to our next event plan, which is very much interesting event, and that is IRC and IRDC, which is organized by MSSA. So IRC is International Rover Challenge and IRDC is International Rover Design Challenge. So these two competition focus on development of rover which can send to Mars planet. We are participating in various national level tech events, and other such competition will be conducted in the future. Next slide, please. Okay. Now, all of you have overview of which kind of competition we have participated and we are planning in future. So you all have this question in your mind that after investing some time in this club, what will you get to learn? So first of all, you will get to learn new concepts, softwares, different tools, and you are going to work on designing optimum solutions for real life problems. Then you are going to learn about different microcontrollers, different drivers, motor drivers, and LiPo batteries. Then important concepts like PWM motor, PID control, and object detection using the camera, which requires in robotics. Then you will get to learn about sensor interfacing, which is also important in robotics. So definitely you are going to learn all these skills. So all these skills are related to electronics, electrical and CSIT. For mechanical point of view, I will hand over to Sanket.
Thank you, Akshata. So, hello everyone. So now let's talk about mechanical stuff. So the skill set which you will gain in this club will help you to shape your career in a very proper direction. Nowadays, theoretical knowledge is not enough. It requires projects, skills, and creativity for your resumes. I'm happy to say that this club has given me all of these things. We will help you to design and analyze by using different softwares such as CATIA, SolidWorks, ANSYS, etc. Some photo rendering softwares like Keyshot, SolidWorks Visualize, and etc. All the images in today's presentation is rendered in Keyshot. You will have an hand-on experience in different manufacturing processes in our workshop. After all the pandemic and all, you will be the first team to do all the work together in the offline mode. So go for it. So now let's talk about the most important thing for which you all are here. What do we expect from you all? We need a group of students that can convert these imaginations into ideas. Always ready for learning new skills. We are not looking for an individual personality here. Okay, so we are looking for the person who can work with the team. That is, and we need the teamwork of all each and every person. We are not, he or she will be there whenever they needs him or her. If you think that your technical knowledge is weak, but you are willing to learn, then yes, we are good hands for you. Now Kiran will explain you the selection process.
Thank you, Sanket. So here is the most important part of today's induction program, that is selection process. We have divided this selection process into two parts. The first one will be the aptitude test and the second one will be the interview round. A Google form will be provided for aptitude exam which will consist of two sections. In first section, there will be 5 to 10 mostly MCQ questions. It will be a kind of open book test because here we want you to search on internet, because what happens in real life is we can't memorize hundreds of equations, formulae and keywords. So you don't have to mug up each and everything. That's why it will be a easy section. Next slide please. Okay, so second section will be a quite difficult one. There will be 5 to 10 analytical questions. It includes descriptive, MCQ and numericals, mainly based on designing and programming related to the robotics. Next slide. So here are some guidelines for the aptitude exam. So the question paper will be same for both first year and second year students and same for the all branches. But there will be relative grading and cutoff will be different for first year and second year students. Remember that you will be judged by your approach towards each question rather than the number of questions you have solved. So even if you are not able to solve it completely, you can upload your answers. The tentative date for the aptitude exam is 6 July, that is tomorrow at 6 p.m. The duration will be 90 minutes. Next slide. Okay, so for the second part, that is interview round, students shortlisted from the aptitude exam will appear for it. Here you will be judged by your technical and non-technical skills, also your approach from your aptitude exam. There will be situation-based questions, Robocon and IRDC questions. The tentative date for the interview round is 8 July. We will let you know the further details of aptitude and the interview on your respective WhatsApp groups. Now over to you, Pranav.
Yes, thank you, Kiran. So you must have got to know about the club as a whole through these slides. On an ending note, I would like to say that what makes Vulcan Robotics different is that we believe in learning by doing right from the scratch. This learning process is interesting because of the challenges it presents. And we know no engineering system in use today relies only on one branch of engineering. And it is necessary to develop an interdisciplinary approach towards problem solving, and this is what Vulcan Robotics offers. Next slide, please. What we see on the slide is a humorous yet accurate quote. Education without application is just entertainment, and which is exactly what we believe does not happen in Vulcan Robotics. So if you are passionate about engineering, don't want to just learn theoretically, curious to learn and solve engineering problems creatively, then Vulcan Robotics is the best place for you to be in. And on the behalf of our team, I wish you all the best for the upcoming process. So thank you. So if you have any questions, you may turn on your mic or you may ask in the chat section.